today. You heard her. Come back out of executive session at 11:24 and entertain a motion to come out of executive session at 11:24 where no action was taken.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Burgess.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. And then we need to take up general assistance case 25-9 for cremation.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, down to committee reports. Let's see. Anybody got lots of stuff to talk about at NACO?
We did talk about YCDC budget 2 weeks ago. And then last week out at NACO, there's a discussion and things to learn out there. Somewhere I have notes. With some good setting on a couple zoning discussions, battery zoning discussions, that was good. Fireside chat, if you will, with OPPD and NPPD was interesting to hear their take on some of the stuff. It sounds like they're working on some
Big projects.
nuclear stuff that unfortunately isn't a tomorrow deal, but hopefully sooner than later. So that's cool. Let's see. Helen gave us some interesting thoughts. That's what I have.
Bill?
I didn't have Send or Blue Valley or anything these last couple weeks, but I did get that at least Wednesday afternoon of NACO. I came back from taking an exam that morning, and then there was, question about, well, how does AC and DC and all this stuff? And I was like, I just took an exam on that for Physics 2, actually, on LRC circuits and that stuff. So that was kind of interesting. But and they talked about, I guess I mostly got that, the OPPD and NPPD. One, talked to some other commissioners as well. So it was pretty interesting. And yeah, seeing that building natural gas and whatever else as well besides nuclear. My opinion, that's the future because it's a lot quicker and less regulation around it. So, and it's really clean and efficient. But I'm also biased because I'm working for a pipeline company or whatever next summer. So there's that. So anyway, but anyway.
Well, we also heard that they were, which was news to me, that turning CO2 into natural.
Well,
I think that
no.
was
Well, that was like, I don't know how they're doing it, but
chemistry must have bad up.
No,
well, unless they're adding something.
there's
Yeah, so
carbon.
It's not too,
No, it's the product of combustion. CO2 is a product of combustion. There's other things they're doing with CO2, but they're not making energy with it. No, someone had a question about that didn't make a lot of sense
So they
either.
were faking and captured.
Who was
Yeah.
that commissioner that heard they were doing that?
Yeah, there's not
It's not
Not-
like when Willard comes up here and he says, I heard this.
yeah. Except for
Grinch socks.
what we found out is that some
here.
I know where you're at.
what we found out is that some counties are, maybe not quite as involved in having to learn about all this stuff as we are. And so they're running on news from a couple of years ago, whereas we have to be a little bit more informed because it's right at our doorstep all the time. So at least according to the questions we heard, because some of them were a lot more, things that, and then other things was kind of old news, and it's like, okay, why are we still talking about this? But it was okay. There was some good discussion.
I guess my takeaway from NACO is how biased they are towards the renewable side. I'm a little taken aback by some of the presentation, especially the battery storage, that all the factual information, expert information was all from OPPD.
Got to watch out for experts.
So that whole discussion didn't hold a lot of water to me as I think through what we're doing with zoning. Fireside chat with OPPD and PPD was interesting to say the least. There again, another indoctrination spin on NACO's part. I know both those organizations provide a lot of money to that organization, but wasn't really excited to have to listen to all that again. Did have a lot of interaction with some of with commissioners across the state, which I think is the best part of those committees, just the networking and all of that happens at those, and just hearing what they're going through and different things. Been in communications with a zoning board member from Franklin for the last couple months, and it's good to hear their takes on things. And I know, talking with a few other counties, that there are a lot of them that are in the same boat we are from a zoning standpoint. So it's interesting to hear where they're at in their journeys and what they've done and what they haven't done. So that's pretty much that. Yesterday, me and Daniel had an interview with a second candidate for highway superintendent. That one I think we decided we're going to advance to a second round of interview. Second round of interviews in a process. This should probably, if this one goes well, the next one will be to a full board for interview. So that's going really well. We talked with the generator. Daniel actually found a great cost-effective solution to our potentially $60,000 problem out there. So
That's good.
got that piece of equipment for $6,700, and the utility of it will be much nicer. The only downfall to that piece of equipment is it's not going to be an automatic startup with huge power. Someone's going to physically have to turn the machine on. However, the machine can do 3-phase and single phase, so there is a portion of our yard out there that we cannot power with that piece of equipment. So excited about that. Pretty much it, I think. So.
Cool. Well, it's good to hear different takes, because if everybody went out to NACO and heard the same thing, there's a problem. And NACO gets tasked with putting this on every year, and not only, freshmen, commissioners, supervisors, but the older ones that try to keep it entertaining for them. So you do get the information that you kind of glean or want out of it. And then other things you're like, yeah, I don't know about that too. To me, the key aspect came, yes, we want to fight for our inheritance money that keeps coming in and different things. The thing I think we're really going to have to start pressuring the state about is this mental health issue that's going on. When they close down the facilities and they put them in our jails, it's huge. We even heard from a Douglas County commissioner. She said there's long-term injections out there that rather than turning them loose onto the street and tell them to take their pills, they actually cost them a lot more, but yet they're not getting them back right away, because that long-term injection to help with those meds, it covers so much more time. So that was Marion Borges. And so there's things out there that we can do to help ourselves, but the state's got to help us with this. I mean, they're the ones that shut those facilities down, and then here they came. And our people behind this, they're not prepared to deal with all this. And it's too bad. So that's one of the major things I got out of it. And it didn't matter. We had a guy from Scottsbluff County and Douglas County. We're talking opposite ends of the state, same issue. We're all dealing with that issue. And us in this county too, the mental health issue is just, you know, tough to deal with. So that was my big take out of it. A lot of the stuff is repetitive, but that was my big piece that I got out of it. Let alone like, you know, you said, Andy, about networking.
Yeah.
When we get to talk to these different people, and we tend to gravitate to the same ones. I have my friends from Polk County, Jefferson County, Banner County, but we're all going through the same thing. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a county of 1,500 people or a county of 30, 40,000. We're all going through the same thing, just at a different scale. And so it is nice to talk with them, kind of get revved up for the next year and go. But I would definitely say if you have any other, John is somebody you can reach out to.
Yep.
And if you have some thoughts or feelings or takeaways, he definitely would be, he would receive those. Other than that, Gary, I know you sat in and you sat in. You guys have anything to add, you know, to that?
Mentioned probably 6 weeks ago that out there I was going to meet with Edward Dunn, who was in Ogallala, who was with the zoning nuisance.
Right.
That meeting is not going to be the first week of January.
Okay.
Probably head out to Ogallala to meet with him. That farm ground out there also, so the business portion of it will be part of the farm visit. But just a simple, you know, reminder is, you know, one of our grants that we received because of the number of zip codes of the rest from Lancaster County, we were able to qualify as a suburban community as opposed to a rural community. So we, as a result of our location, we do have some mental emergency DPCs and so forth and so forth. I'm pretty sure in 2024, York County had about 25, and neighboring counties included 4 DPCs. And so we do have a different metric based upon. Now the city makes a lot of money from it, and so there's that aspect of it too. But the reality with the interstate and the highway, we have different components. We have a different infrastructure than any other community in the state of Nebraska.
Agreed. Mary, you got anything?
Getting ready for primary election.
Yeah.
That was our big thing this week.
What's the deadline for people to apply for?
January 5th for incumbents is the start of it, and then February.
The other thing.
Filling the seat.
Yes, and as you see, Leroy was recalled. It was in the paper the 18th that we are looking for a commissioner. We will take resumes with a cover sheet up until the 9th of January, and we will hold interviews on Tuesday the 13th. 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And it'll be Gary, I, and Megan.
It's funny,
Yes.
the question, you know, out there, you know, a couple of commissioners had heard about it, you know, and then the question is, well, how do you guys do this now? Well, this is unfortunately old hat for us. They've done this a few times, that group has, so very well versed in this.
And once no doubt.
Right, yeah.
So yes,
So hopefully we'll have
Commissioner
a
Ott was,
commissioner on the 20th for a second meeting in January.
yeah, the swearing date will be after that at some point. I think where Mary was going was
Yeah, I know what she's going.
the 5th, and then we have till, incumbents have till, those up for election, have till the 15th of February, 14th, Valentine's Day, one of those 2 days.
Something.
And then
Yeah.
the others is obviously the 1st of March. The non-incumbents have the 1st of March to file for any elected position in the county. And by then, we'll have the wage set. So I know what they have,
So,
the
yes.
1%. No, actually, the 1%'s paid on the previous year, right? Or the last year.
It's paid on, okay, so this is where I was confused last time. They used to do it. They used to set salaries in December so people knew
What they were, yeah.
Correct. However, this year it's what you make at the end of November of 2025.
Okay.
So it's based on your salary of this year.
Well, Christmas season is upon us, so hopefully everybody is safe if they're traveling. Sounds like we've got good weather for it.
Yep.
And at the next meeting, we will start the meeting off with a reorganization meeting. The clerk will start the meeting and we will reorganize as a board of commissioners and we will take it from there. We are adjourned.
All right.
Adjourned.